Okay. Headphone highlights. Hello. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to do a live stream this week, but to ensure that I do get these headphone highlights out every week, you special, beautiful YouTube folks get this video all for yourselves. Um, so what we're talking about today is a little unusual for an audiophile enthusiast channel, but I'm going to talk about it anyway because it's important to me as someone who doesn't generally like the feel and fit of IEMs. And since we're approaching the end of our IEM journey, we have one other set of IEMs to talk about next week. But I do want to talk about these. So these are, bear with me, these are the Bose Sound True in-ear headphones. Okay, yes, we're talking about Bose today. And that might be a cardinal sin to some, but you know, let me try and get through it. These are, I can't even really call these IEMs. These are not monitoring headphones of any kind. They're earbuds. These are probably our first like legit just earbuds that we've talked about during the IEM line of headphones that I have. But they're important to me. So these are a very, very old pair. These are actually no longer available. The Sound True in-ear headphones from Bose have been discontinued for some time. So they're not easy to find anymore. In fact, I've had to find alternatives to these because I just cannot find these anywhere. I thought that I even lost these some time ago. I thought that I threw them away, that the cable has worn out and or cracked or whatever, and I threw them away and just forgot about them. But actually what ended up happening is that they just got lost in some, videography bag I had put away somewhere. And I found them in there. Oh my god, there they are. And they still work, so that's good. But why are we talking about these? Well, first, before I get too much into that, we'll go over the build really quickly. It's really simple. This is a permanently attached cable. We can't really talk much about it. It does terminate to a simple 3.5mm plug. Nothing new, nothing very interesting. The cable that is on it is pretty basic. It's just a nice kind of rubbery cable. Because this is so old and so used, it's a little sticky. So that's kind of gnarly, but it is what it is. That kind of happens with rubberized wires after a time. It does have a microphone built into it, which I've never used. I can't imagine it sounds good at all, but in a pinch, I suppose it would have been nice. The actual chassis are simple plastic, not much to really write home about there. You got Bose screen printed on the one end, on the back end. Not really much else. These tips are interesting. I haven't seen too many tips like this, and that's going to contribute to why I like these as much as I do. They're a little gnarly looking, but yeah, they're kind of like these winged ear tips. They are removable, and let's see if I can do this for you really quick here. You can get at least a little bit of a look at the shape of the driver, I don't know, nipple, whatever you want to call it. Oh my god, these are so nasty and old and dusty, but try to show this off a little bit. So they don't have a perfectly round ear driver shape. It's a little oval, and that makes it, of course, a little unique and a little proprietary to Bose, and why it's difficult to find replacement nubs for these. Because they have this very special kind of fit to them. Yeah, see, it's a little weird. It doesn't just slide over there, over the driver housing. It actually kind of clips in all sorts of different ways. You got this little lip right here on the edge, so when this goes on, it actually slips over that little lip, boop, and kind of snaps in there a little bit. So yeah, the build is a little, I mean, not too much to write home about. It's light plastic. They're very, very light, and they're very old, you know. And Bose has some similarities with their more modern IEMs. I think they're pretty much all wireless at this point, but not, you know, not exactly like this. So the build is whatever. It's a pretty whatever build. But what is special about it is the way that these fit. Why I love these so much is because these are, to date, the most comfortable IEMs or earbuds in the world for me. I throw these on, zoop, done. I could wear these all day, every day. They are absolutely the most comfortable things I've ever been able to get out of a earbud or IM. Simple as that. And that's why I love them so much. I use these for work for years. I could, you know, take these to the gym. They're pretty snug. They're not super duper snug. They're a little loose. And they do just kind of droop down like this, not going over your ear like some of the other IMs we were looking at. But they're not going to fall out super duper easily. You can go running with these. But they just fit so nice. They're so comfortable, and it's so unusual for me when it comes to anything in-ear. I can't stand in-ear in general. So that's what's special about these. The comfort. The comfort and fit and feel for these is unbelievable. I love the way these feel. And that's why I go out of my way to find more like these, because it's so hard to find a replacement for these exactly. Right now, the closest thing I've been able to find to the SoundTrue in-ear headphones are these. They look very similar, but they are different. These are the Bose Sport Sound, or Soundsport in-ear headphones. Very similar. They still have that kind of wing-lipped driver housing. Not driver housing, I'm sorry. The ear tips. Very similar ear tips. These are a lot cleaner looking because they're not, okay, they're new to me, but they're not new. These are actually interesting. I found a guy on eBay who doesn't just refurbish these, but specifically he finds ones that have been damaged beyond repair, mostly with the cable, and he replaces the cable himself, makes his own. It's a nice little cable. It's it's very plain looking. It's got this, you know, similar kind of rubbery texture on the cable, but it's nice. It's fine, and I kind of like the look of it. It's not as matchy, stripy as what comes with these, but I like it. And because it is a refurbished device, he offers these for significantly less than you should be able to find them otherwise. And that leads to another point here. These are not, at least when they were available, not cheap. I believe that the oh my god, the SoundTrue ones were somewhere in the range of $300, and the Soundsports, I get them all mixed up. The Soundsports are fairly similar, between $200 and $300. Not cheap at all for basically some earbuds. So, you know, that's a really hard sell, but now, because they're, I guess, out of fashion, and because they're discontinued, I think these are actually still getting produced a little bit. You can still find these new on Amazon every once in a while. They're more affordable. I was able to get the guy on eBay. I'll see if I can get his link, see if I can find him again. Put the link in the description for you, but he sells these for, like, I don't know, less than $50, I think, and that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's the the sports, oh my god, I keep getting it backwards. The Soundsport in-ear headphones are the closest thing I have found to the SoundTrue in-ear headphones in terms of the fit and the feel. Unfortunately, these Soundsports don't really match the audio quality. So, okay, let's talk about sound now. This won't take too long because it's going to be really simple. These are Bose IEMs, Bose in-ear headphones, Bose earbuds. So they sound like Bose. I mean, big surprise there. They're extremely V-shaped. The mid-range is almost entirely veiled from your low end and your higher end. It's extremely pushed aside. So it's a very veiled sounding V-shaped headphone. That being said, it's a fairly pleasant sound, all things considered. It's not it's the kind of thing that anyone could find acceptable. It's not super awful, it's not super sibilant. These aren't super sibilant. And the low end isn't crazy bloated or anything like that. It's just very, very V-shaped, and lacks a lot of clarity. Partially, I think, because these are not a very isolated seal in the ear. I can hear everything right now. These are almost open backs, the way that I can hear sound coming through them. So they're not at all isolating, which I think contributes to some of that loss of detail and some of that, I don't want to say loss of low end. There's low end there, it's Bose, but it's just not very clean low end. I think if these were maybe more isolating, you might get a bit better performance out of them. However, I don't want to mess with it because, again, I love the way they feel. The comfort's perfect. I don't want to mess with it. So yeah, the sound is whatever. It's your whatever Bose sound for the Truesound headphones. Unfortunately, while the Soundsports have a very similar signature, and they still have that similar Bose V-shape sound signature, boy howdy, these can be very susceptible to sibilance, really bad. Almost to the point where exactly to the point where some music and some songs are just outright unlistenable with these. And that sucks, because yeah, it hurts. It can hurt big time. So I would say the V-shape is actually a lot more extreme with these than it is with the Soundtrues. But otherwise, it's pretty similar. It's pretty close. It's really only that high end that is really sharp and painful. So anything that's a bit more mellow sounding in your music will be okay. It'll be, these are still something that I would wear to the gym and be fine with, because I'm not really probably focusing too much on my music while I'm running on a treadmill or doing weights or whatever. So it does the job. And what's important, though, for me, is it does the job with it being comfortable. I'm able to get some sound out of these, and it sounds fine to a degree, but more importantly, I can wear them forever. So that's why we're talking about these. These are, again, not really IEMs. They're more just earbuds. But they're very important earbuds because they're so flippin' comfortable, and I have yet to have anything that matches the comfort of this general old-fashioned Bose design. So if you got recommendations, looking at what I'm showing you here, if you know something that, I know an IEM that kind of has that similar design, similar shape, maybe the very similar kind of, I know this isn't a very unique ear nub, but really this is the only ear nub of this shape that has really felt nice for me. So maybe you know something that has a very, very, very similar ear shape in the ear nub, and the fit and comfort of these, but will sound significantly better. I'd love to hear it. But yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot else to say. They're Bose. They sound like Bose. These ones in particular, the sports, are really, really sharp. The Truesound sound a lot nicer. They're a lot smoother. Low end hits a little bit harder, even, I think. A little bit deeper sounding. But otherwise they're pretty close, with the exception that those sports are just way too sharp. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you today. Next week, we're going to talk about my last set of IEMs, and they are moon drops. Ooh, that should sparkle some interests. Yeah, those will be fun. So, yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Again, I'm sorry I wasn't able to stream this week, but luckily for you YouTube folks, it didn't really matter. And, yeah, I'll see you next week. Enjoy your weekends. Have a good one.